News overnight about the mysterious death of Shanquella Robinson, an American tourist in Mexico. Authorities there announcing an arrest warrant. Mona Kosar Abdi joins us with more on this development. Mona, good morning to you, but still so many questions.
Still so many unanswered questions. Janae, good morning. Mexican authorities are announcing a major development in the mysterious death of 25-year-old American tourist Shanquella Robinson. Police issued their first arrest warrant Wednesday.
I think that this is beautiful. I've never, ever actually literally called for the arrest of somebody specifically that I've seen on the internet, but I think that this is absolutely beautiful and that Mexican authorities. Now, one thing that I'm wondering in this whole situation is extradition, because we all know that the Mexican authorities, they had to do this in order to ensure the safety of what goes on over in their country, especially for visitors, because that's the main revenue generator over there is American tourism and tourism in general, specifically in Cabo. And if they didn't issue this arrest warrant and they didn't do their due diligence and investigation, which I have to applaud them as far as being able to first identify that this is important for their economy, and then number two, following through on their due diligence without rushing through the investigation, they had to do it. There was no way that they couldn't do it, and it was really just a matter of time. But let's continue.
Charging an acquaintance of Robinson's with femicide, a form of gender-based violence. At this time, local officials have not named that person, but they have identified them as a direct aggressor against the Charlotte native.
The one thing that I am wondering about in this whole situation, though, is to what extent, because I know here in America, you can be an accomplice, you can, they will throw the book at you just to make sure that you take the L or you take a plea deal so that they can get the conviction based off of mob rules, right? I like to call America Rome. But I know that this is being reported as they've issued an arrest warrant from a direct aggressor, and as a form of femicide, right? And femicide, I've learned, and I didn't even know that that was a thing. I've recently learned that that is a gender-based assault and murder. And so this is so crazy because there was so many different people there and nobody actually did anything in order to prevent this thing from happening. So I'm wondering, is there more charges to come, or is this the end of the conversation?
Also know that they have already initiated requests to the United States for extradition. In a now viral video that is too graphic to show, one of Robinson's acquaintances is seen physically attacking her inside the room of that luxury resort in Cabo where they were vacationing last month.
That on the right, the picture on the right looks like a man. It looks like a whole man, the way that she is getting beat up. And when I had this conversation and I did the live stream on it on Monday, it seemed like a woman, but then the person that was recording was also a man. And then people were telling me it was a lot of different conflicting reports and different people. You know how rumors travel. And so I'm always making sure that I get the most up-to-date information so that I can, give it to you guys. But people was telling me that it was a man that beat her up, and then they said that there was some stuff that happened afterwards, and then they said that she was naked when she was getting beat up, and she was slumped. She was absolutely slumped, and it was egregious. It's nothing that I could ever justify, champion, have anything negative to say, because the girl was there on vacation, and I thought it was one of the most horrific videos that I've ever seen on YouTube. I mean, I've seen some animal videos that was pretty horrific. This against the human was it was mind-boggling that this happened. And even that it took so long. Somebody told me that this happened back in October and that they just now reporting on it.
And this week, ABC News obtained a bombshell police report that states Robinson may have been getting medical attention in that room for 3 hours before her death. Her autopsy revealing she died of a spinal cord injury and a broken neck, contradicting her roommate's claims that she fell ill due to alcohol poisoning.
Who came up with the idea that they were going to come back and tell her mother alcohol poison, and then that was just going to be the end of the conversation and that was going to go over? I mean, the very idea that this chick is in a casket, it was nothing that they can do. I mean, if she had a spinal injury and a broken neck, at best, it's sounding like she would have been in a wheelchair for the rest of her life.
As the FBI now conducts their own investigation, Robinson's family is expressing relief that their calls for accountability may finally be answered. Janae?
Listen, I am going over there, or not even over there. I am coming for every last one of them people. It is nothing that they can do to stop it. The only blessing that can come out of this, because I know that she said that their family is relieved, the only blessing that can come out of this is if the police get to you before I do, because for that in that video, and they recorded it. What dummy recorded it that provided additional evidence to the police? Shout out to social media for getting these people locked up. The one situation in which social media, the one out of many, in which social media has helped us bring awareness to a situation that is absolutely egregious, and who knows if this would have went unpunished or undocumented or highlighted if it never had been brought to the light in social media. And so this is one of the few situations where I say that social media is to be celebrated as a result of what it brought out from this egregious situation. I think that it is bad. I think it's horrible. I can't imagine ever being a father of a daughter that went through this. I don't understand why somebody, anybody, any one of her friends, and then people are telling me that she paid for the trip or she paid for the room, and they literally brought her over there to set her up. That's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like a setup. I read some comments of some people that was talking about some rumors that was unsubstantiated about how she participated in somebody else or something like that. Listen, I don't really care what y'all talking about. It's nothing that you can do or say unless you just giving me some crazy new news and evidence that just says that she was just the most ugly, egregious person that did some of the most heinous crimes on the face of this earth. There's nothing that you can say or do that would ever lead me to believe or lead me to say anything negative about this woman whatsoever. I think that it is horrific. It's horrible. I'll be glad when her family get justice, because this isn't just justice for her family. This is justice for society as a whole. I think that this is a meaningful issue for society as a whole, simply because, what's normalized in our society is people being able to do what they want to do and get away with it, or don't have any consequences that come along with it. And so you need to make examples out of people, and there's never been a better example than this right here. There's never been a better issue for people to get behind as far as how it is that we can support the family, bring awareness, highlight specific issues, and make sure that we police our own communities and make sure that these people are locked up. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. I just released, just now, right before I went on this video, I just released a new Charleston White interview, 2-hour exclusive, uncensored. I'd never be able to release this interview to the general public, but it is 2 hours uncensored for the general public. Make sure you go and check that out if you are a bag chaser and you're part of the Patreon. That link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on your notifications. And I'd appreciate it if you appreciate what it is that I do to share this with your family and friends and everybody that you can get in contact with, because we do some awesome work over here at the Millionaire Morning Show and Anton Daniels. I love y'all. I'm appreciating y'all. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.